Hi everyone, it's Luke, and today I'm talking about how my top surgery has been delayed. I was supposed to be having top surgery next week, but it's not happening because my body decides a week before surgery it wants to get a chest infection. So a few days before my consultation last week, I started to feel unwell. I had a sore throat and I wasn't sure if it was my hay fever because we had just come back from the beach. So I did absolutely everything to try and get it to go. I gargled salt, I had honey and lemon tea, I had antihistamines, I had everything. But it didn't go. And then I was worried it was COVID. So in the space of about 3 days, I think I did about 4 COVID tests. If no, probably more. Because I was so scared about my surgery being cancelled from having COVID. But it got cancelled anyway. And I don't have COVID. So yeah, I did 4 COVID tests before my consultation to make sure I was still going to be able to go. And as they all came back negative, I was allowed to go to it still. The day before my consultation, I spoke to my GP about it and I was put on antibiotics because it was actually a chest infection. And because I could prove to the hospital it wasn't COVID, I was allowed to have my consultation. And then that made me think that everything was going to be fine. But it wasn't. When I actually spoke to Mr Fitton on my consultation, he was unsure about how it would affect it being my surgery, because it depended on how ill I felt when it came to my surgery date, which was 2 weeks. I was on antibiotics and I started feeling better, so there was a chance it would be all okay by then. But then I spoke to the nurse after and she wasn't convinced. She spent a couple of days talking to the anaesthetist. She spent a couple of days talking to the anaesthetist, and he decided that it wasn't safe enough for me to have my surgery next week. And he's decided that he wants me to be off antibiotics and to be clear of my chest infection for at least 4 weeks before I have my surgery. And a few days after my consultation is when I finished my first week of antibiotics. And I didn't feel very good still, so I had to be put on another week. Now, when I told the nurse I saw on my consultation list, it reinforced that I wasn't having my surgery. She contacted me last night to tell me that it wasn't going to happen, and I am so disappointed. But I want to be clear, I am so happy and grateful that the hospital team have taken this time to discuss me to make sure I am safe enough to have my surgery, because at the end of the day, it's my life that would be at risk. And as much as I'm desperate for my top surgery, I do not want to risk my life. So it was obviously the right thing, but trying to readjust to being a week away after so many years is very difficult. Saying that, I got a call this morning to rebook in my surgery date already, and it has been postponed for 6 weeks. So I'll be having it at the beginning of November instead. And that was my main concern, was it being cancelled and not being rebooked again because of COVID, or it being too late in the winter and everything going wrong again because of COVID. So for it to only be 6 weeks away and be 100% booked in, I am very, very happy. And that has made me feel so much better since getting a new date, because I have something to work towards again, rather than just thinking at some point I'm going to get it. I think the thing that just makes it so bad is that I used to get really severe chest infections at least once a year because of my binding, and 2 years ago I had to stop binding because of the damage it was causing, and since then I have not had a single chest infection, not one. So to get a week before my surgery and my body decides now to have one is what frustrates me the most. But there you go. But I'm just trying to focus on the positives, because that is all I can do. I'm just trying to think that I've got another 6 weeks to prepare. I've got another 6 weeks to get everything ready, because even though I've known this was coming for 10 weeks, I hadn't got everything ready. Clever. So yeah, that just gives me more time to prepare, get myself ready mentally and physically and everything else. And the main thing is that I'm having my surgery, and that at the end of the day is all I could wish for. It's another 6 weeks with the body that I've got, but then it will be gone and I will have my flat chest, and that is what I've got to focus on. So yes, I will now update you on my surgery when it happens in November. And that was my new top surgery update. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very exciting one, but there you go. Thanks for listening to me waffle on about my disappointment. I hope you enjoyed it and that you will join me here next time. As always, my Instagram will be down below, as will my blog, and I will answer any questions you may ask. I will answer any questions you may have. Bye.